The life and works of Francisco de Goya. Francisco de Goya is one of Spain's most famous and cherished artists. Goya lived between 1746 and 1828 and created many works that varied in theme and style. Today, Goya's paintings and etchings can be seen in major museums around the world, including the Museo Nacional del Prado in Madrid, Spain. Born in Fuentedoros, Spain, Goya was the son of a gilder. At a young age, his family moved to Zaragoza, Spain, where Goya enjoyed painting as a child. Goya began studying art as an apprentice at the age of 14 in Spain, then later studied in Italy. After moving to Madrid, Goya began working in the workshop of two brothers, Francisco and Ramon Bayeu. Goya soon fell in love with the brother's sister Josefa. In 1773, Josefa and Goya married. In 1779, Goya was named a painter to the royal court of Spain. Goya would continue to work as a court painter over 4 monarchies. His skillful ability to paint detailed portraits garnered a following amongst the Spanish elite. One of Goya's most famous paintings of the royal court is King Charles IV of Spain and his family. The work was painted in 1800 and is now located in the Prado. There are several details that have made this painting a favorite amongst fans of Goya's work. One detail is the fact that Goya places himself with the royal family. He can be seen painting in the upper left corner. This could be a salute to Las Meninas by Diego Velázquez, another renowned Spanish artist. Throughout his life, Goya was never a stranger to controversy. Some art critics speculate that Goya's painting of the royal family is a critique on the Spanish aristocracy. Goya painted the family in an almost caricature-like manner and almost emphasizes some of the family members' unflattering traits. Although Goya spent his entire life painting commissioned works for the royal court and Spanish aristocracy, he was also a prolific artist outside of the court. Goya enjoyed painting scenes of everyday life around towns, at bullfights, and in poverty-stricken areas of Madrid. Goya also had a dark and fantastical side as a painter and etcher. Some art historians believe his darker paintings could have been caused by falling ill in 1792 and subsequently losing his hearing. Goya was almost entirely deaf for the rest of his life. The 3rd of May, 1808 is one of Goya's most well-known works outside of his court paintings. It was painted in 1814 and is currently exhibited at the Prado. The painting depicts Napoleon's army executing Spanish soldiers during the Peninsular War. The white-shirted soldier is haloed by light and in a Christ-like posture. Napoleon's faceless army resides in the dark, executing the defenseless Spanish. This symbolism makes Goya's alliance with the Spanish army clear. Toward the end of his life, Goya continued to create political paintings, especially after King Ferdinand VII came into power. Goya used his art to critique the Spanish government, most powerfully in a series of works called Los Disparates. Toward the end of his life, Goya grew more and more dissatisfied with King Ferdinand. Eventually, Goya isolated himself from Madrid in a small country home. Between 1819 and 1823, Goya painted some of his darkest work directly on the walls of his home. The series of frescoes are now called the Black Paintings. One such work is Saturn devouring his son. Although Goya never intended for the works to be displayed publicly, they were removed from the walls of the home and transferred onto canvas in the late 1800s. The works can now be viewed at the Prado. As the political atmosphere of Spain became more turbulent, Goya exiled himself to France, where he died in 1828. Goya influenced many artists after his death, including Pablo Picasso. During his lifetime, Goya was recognized as one of the best portrait painters of Spain. In the 21st century, Goya is remembered as a painter whose style did not always fit in the Enlightenment period during which he lived. Many art historians consider Goya to be ahead of his time, creating modern art long before the modern era.